They are helping hospice out the old way of doing life and business and midwifing in the new way. And that's the piece that really resonates. So where Jonathan and I connected was we actually got involved in a project to help raise awareness. We met up in San Francisco. Within a couple of minutes of meeting up there, we were in a meditation together. Like, really, let's sit down.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's literal. there's two dudes in a hotel room going
meditating.
Let's meditate before we go to a meeting. You know, and that's literally that. We hugged, said hi, and sat on separate beds. Separate beds. Two dudes in a hotel room in San Francisco. Separate beds. Just get the facts straight.
True story.
True story. And the name of the room. Do you remember the name of the room?
No.
Every one of these hotel rooms is colored in different colors, right? So we're like, all right, this is interesting. Like pinks and purples and blues. It was the only place we could find. It was also one of the only sustainable hotels that we could find.
Yeah,
We still had room, right?
It was all green. Yeah.
And it was like the Happy Room was the name of the room or something. I'm going to explain this to my wife. But it was one of the most, didn't say that. One of the most amazing meditations. And then we went and masterminded with Lynne and Bill about how to shift the planet. And then we ended up in the rainforest. And for some of you, you'll feel the call to go to the rainforest. And I'd highly encourage everyone to experience that. And we're not going to describe that. It's not our role to describe that now. But let's just say that that's where the vision for what we're experiencing now was birthed. And it was so loud and so clear that once you hear that call, it will wake you up every night until you answer the call. It's the phone call that never stops ringing until you pick up the phone. And that's what happened. That's actually I think the best way I can describe it is we recognized that that was our responsibility. That was our ability to respond to what was happening in the universe.
So the DNA of this whole organization is largely sourced from Pachamama. And that's why it's so important that we all go through this experience, this Awaken the Dreamer, Change the Dream Symposium. Because I still remember, you heard that story yesterday about me doing that launch and making all this money and crying at my computer and that whole embarrassing thing. And a week later, I end up in this symposium. And it was really, from the time of that symposium till now, that was the turning point. We all know that we have turning points in our life, right? You have that experience, you have that moment, something happens, something occurs, and everything after that changes, everything shifts. And so, who knows, maybe this morning will be a turning point for you. But the introduction to this conversation was a turning point for me that ultimately culminated in every single one of us sitting right here, right now, today. Because when I went through the conversation you're about to go through, I realized that there was no more time, and there was nothing better for me to focus my life on than whatever I could do to make the biggest possible impact in shifting the direction of our planet towards a sustainable, just, and spiritually fulfilling future for all human beings, for all life, for everyone. And that's the conversation that we're all now a part of. And there's a second piece to this whole thing, and it's that the deeper we can imbue our why, the deeper that why becomes, the more powerful we are to move through any obstacle and any challenge. And so, how many sleepless nights do you think there's been in the last 22 months for us? Just guess.
A lot.
Guess, moving through this process of what it might have taken to create some of this, what might have had to been risked to create some of it. A lot of sleepless nights. And I will tell you, my friends, what allows